Money Talks.
Money Talk.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Hi, my name is Luqman Awari-Yusuf, President CFA Society Nigeria. Join me and a host of other financial industry practitioners for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks.
Money Talk.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria and it's a financial literacy program. Smart Uzechi is my name. You can call me Captain Smart and you'll be financially correct. Today on the program, Luqman Awari-Yusuf, CFA, ACS, is the guest. He is a private equity infrastructure investment professional at ARM Harith Infrastructure Investment Limited. He has 6+ years of experience in private equity, infrastructure, investment banking, capital markets, insurance, actuarial services, stockbroking, and investment research. Yusuf handles deal structuring and negotiation, input into development and negotiation of infrastructure projects, and finance documentation, portfolio management, ongoing support to investee project teams. He has experience across several African fundraising transactions with investment experience across several African markets. He's a CFA charter holder, associate member of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers ACS, and has a BSc in Actuarial Science from the University of Lagos. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome my guest on the program this evening, Luqman Awari-Yusuf, CFA, ACS. Luqman, Lagos is standing up for you and applauding you. Welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very fine. How about you?
Beautiful. You look good.
Thank you.
And relaxed as well.
And you too.
If I say this economy no reach your side. You look good. I like how relaxed you are. Welcome to the program. I'm looking forward to the conversation with you today. And of course, I'm sure the guests, the listener out there is also looking forward to it. And this is to let you know that Luqman Awari-Yusuf and I we're going to be talking about the basics of investing. So if you ever thought about investing your hard-earned money, you need to listen to Luqman. He has the experience. He is in this sector, and his advice you find very, very priceless today. This is how to get in touch with us here. While Luqman is here, you can consult him for free while he's on the program. 0700 923 923 923 is the number that you can call. That's 0700 923 923 923, or you can send messages on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. That's 0817 313 6193. You can also record a voice note, but keep it short, simple, and straight to the point, and send it to the WhatsApp number 0817 313 6193, and be sure that Luqman will provide answers to all your questions this evening. You can also follow us on our social media handles. First, you go to the website www.cfasocietyng.org. You can go there, find out more about CFA Society Nigeria, or on all the social media handles, cfasocietyng.org, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. Whatever you do, be sure that you're getting in touch with CFA Society Nigeria. The basics of investing is the topic of discussion here this evening, and Luqman Awari-Yusuf, CFA, ACS, is my guest on the show. So Luqman, having introduced you, let's get straight into it. Let me ask you, what is investing? Because a lot of people talk about it. Everywhere you turn, you hear somebody saying about investment. I made this investment. I'm investing in this, investing in that. What really is investing, and how does this investing or investment differ from when somebody says, I'm saving?
Okay. So, investing and saving, they are both financial practices, but the main difference is that saving is when you set aside money for short-term goals or emergencies, but investing is when you set aside money to purchase assets that can generate a return over time. So saving, in summary, is more about security and accessibility to your funds for immediate needs, while investing is focused on growth and building wealth over time.
So if I invest my money and I have an emergency, I can't have access to it.
There are some short-term investments
Okay.
that you might have access to in the short term, but long-term investments might take up to 1 year before you can have access to it.
Okay, so now that you've defined it in that manner, I want you to walk us through the basics. All of these things have basic types of investment options that's available to people who are listening out there. When I talk about basic types there, such as things like stocks, like bonds, and mutual funds, like some persons have talked about when it came to this program. Just walk us through the basics there.
Is that right? So stocks are shares of ownership in a company, and they provide high returns, but they come with higher risks due to market volatility. While bonds are, in simple language, they are like loans made to corporations or governments, and they pay interest over time. They are generally considered lower risk than stocks, but returns are usually lower as well. Well, mutual funds are pooled investments that are managed by professionals, and the professionals can then invest in a mix of stocks, bonds, or other assets, providing diversification, but it also comes with the management fees that they charge.
Wow. So then, for a beginner, really, a beginner investor, how can this person, assess their risk tolerance? Because you have said now that for this long-term investment, it will provide you higher returns on your investment. That's what you have just said now. So for somebody who's just trying to test the waters, or somebody just hit big money somewhere, and you're trying to say, okay, let me just try. How can that person actually assess their risk tolerance level before they make these investment decisions?
Okay. So, and this doesn't just apply to beginners, but it applies to every investor also. An investor can assess their risk tolerance by evaluating factors such as financial goals, investment timeline, and personal comfort with market fluctuations. And one thing that really helps is taking a risk assessment questionnaire. So it reflects on past financial experiences, and it also considers how much loss the investor can endure, both emotionally and financially. So delving into these areas can lead to ultimate understanding of one's investment style.
How much loss they can endure, both emotionally and financially.
Yes.
So loss fit day.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about that?
Okay. So financially means they have the capacity to withstand the loss. Maybe their net worth is way more than the loss that is at stake. Where emotionally it could be something like some people just cannot just stand the idea of you're investing a certain amount of money and the value just becomes half the next day. So people can't stand that. So that's the emotional aspect.
High blood pressure
Exactly.
without ensue. May God not allow us to see, that type of scenario. You can join the conversation now. You can call us on the telephone number 0700 923 923 923. That's the number to call. You have any questions about investing? Have you invested before and your story is like investment gone wrong, or you're trying to invest your hard-earned money? You know how easy it is to come by money these days. So if before you make that investment, you might want to ask questions from the professionals, and that's why we brought Luqman right here, so you can ask him questions. Call on the telephone now, 0700 923 923 923, or you can send messages to us on WhatsApp, 0817 313 6193. That's 0817 313 6193. You can also send us voice notes to the WhatsApp number 0817 313 6193. Whatever you do, just keep it short, keep it simple, and straight to the point. Luqman is ready to take your questions this evening. So, Luqman, you talked about short-term and long-term investment. Can you help us make sense of it? How do they differ in terms of risk and return?
Okay. So short-term investments, they typically carry lower risk, and they usually most times provide lower returns, and they usually focus on liquidity and quick gains, while long-term investments, they usually involve higher risks most times, but they can yield greater returns over time. In long-term investments, it can benefit from compounding and market growth. So if delving into both categories can reveal strategies suited to different financial goals and risk tolerances.
All right, just to let you know, you can get in touch with us, 0700 923 923 923. You can also reach us on 0817 313 6193 this evening to let us know if you have questions about investment, you want to invest, or have you invested before, you got your fingers burnt, how do you know where exactly to invest your money? You want to ask questions about returns, about how you can get safe interest rates that make sense, because many times some people say that these rates for investment are very, very low. So while you're seeking for high interest, you get your fingers burned. So if you want professional advice as to when, where, and how to make this investment, 0700 923 923 923. That's the number to call us here. 0700 923 923 923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp very quickly to 0817 313 6193. So, Yusuf, let's talk about micro businesses now. Let's talk about them in relation to what we're discussing here this evening. Can these micro businesses and side hustles be regarded as investments as well?
Yes. Micro businesses and side hustles can be regarded as investments, but in a different sense than traditional investments like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. Some of the points you might consider include time and effort as an investment. When you start a micro business or side hustle, you invest your time and effort, and it could also lead to financial returns, skill development, and personal growth. While another point to look at is the financial investment aspect. Many side hustles require some initial capital, either for materials, for marketing, or for tools, and so on. This financial outlay can be seen as an investment with the expectation of future returns. Another point to look at is the risks and rewards. Like any investment, there are risks involved. The potential for profit exists, so does the possibility of loss, depending on the business success. And another point to look at is the passive income potential. Some side hustles can eventually generate passive income apart from traditional investment. For instance, creating digital products or online courses can yield ongoing revenue with minimal effort over time. And
okay, Luqman, just stay on the line. Just hold on. We have a caller.
okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Captain Martin. Good evening, Mr. Luqman.
Welcome to the program. Tell us your name or where you're calling us from.
Thank you, sir. My name is Choma. I'm calling from Lekki.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sir, please, I want to ask your guest, what are we going to do as by investing with this crazy inflation rate? Is there any investment product that matches the inflationary trends in the country now?
Okay.
Because the challenge is that you're investing, you're supposed to earn. But at the end of the day, even if you earn anything and withdraw your money, the inflation has eroded anything. And at the end of the day, you're even running at a loss. So what do you advise in that kind of scenario?
Okay. So I would like you to answer the questions together. That one from the caller, and they will have two messages for you here. Good afternoon. My name is Anne from Yaba. I see investment bloggers say if you set aside 100,000 for a child or yourself in the money market for 18 years, you'll get close to 250 million naira at the end of the 18th year. I have done these calculations and it doesn't add up. What do you have to say, please? That's number one. Number two, hello, Mr. Yusuf. I would like you to shed more light on high interest investment. Number two, small businesses make return. Side hustle and microfinance companies, how do they make returns or profit with this current economic situation? So you have three questions. You have to combine in one to give answers. So where do you start from, Luqman?
Okay, let me start with the first one. So, two investment options available in Nigeria that can assist with inflation are commodities or real estate. Those two investments, they have a high correlation with inflation. So if you invest in either commodities or real estate, you are able to pass on the inflation to either your customers that you are selling the commodities to, or for real estate, you could increase your rent as the prices of things are going up. So you could also pass, and the value of the property too will be increasing in line with inflation. So while the second question,
the second question is this one.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So this 100k
To get 250 million in 18 years.
Okay, so what I'll just say is that if the person is putting down 100k monthly, not just 100k, if it's not just one single 100k. So if the person is putting down 100k per month, that's if you multiply it by 12, that becomes like 1.2 million, like that. And if you multiply it by 18 years, that becomes about, let's just say, 200 million, or like 1.2 million times 20. Okay.
I'm doing that
Okay,
math.
can you help me do the math?
That's 24 million.
Okay, 24 million.
Yeah.
So 24 million, that's the total investment the person is putting down. So if it will be difficult for you to increase to this amount in the money market. But if it's an investment that is a capital market investment, that maybe you invest in stocks and so on, so those kind of investments, it could generate this kind of return. And some time ago, I know some people might not consider cryptocurrency as an investment, but cryptocurrency can also give this kind of returns also. But these kind of returns are not really money market kind of returns. They are more of stocks or something high risk investment kind of thing return.
Okay, I think you've answered all the questions. The first caller.
The third question.
Okay, the third question here. This one that says, I would like you to shed more light on high interest investment, small businesses make return, side hustle, and microfinance companies. How do they make returns or profit with this current economic situation? And then they have added one here that says, you say real estate brings profit. Please, who buys land or houses now? Except you are targeting high net worth individuals and not the average Nigerian. So it's like saying, look, man, this your investment you're talking about, is it for the big money bag people? What about the average Nigerian? That's the import of this question.
Okay. All right. So answering the first one, which speaks to the finance, this
is it. Yeah.
Okay, that speaks to the
small business.
I shed light on high interest investment.
Yeah.
Okay, so high interest investments, they usually come with higher risks than low interest investment, in the sense that they're usually rated. They usually have a rating that could, what they call maybe non-investment grade rating, or they could call them junk bonds. So, but the risk to it is that you could also lose your principal because that entity might default. Well, for small businesses, how do they make returns or profit in the current economy? So, I think once their return on investment is higher than their cost of capital, they always make profit either ways anyway in any economy, provided their return on investment or their return from their business is higher than their cost of funds, they always make profit. So I think that's one basic rule. And real estate that you spoke about, so I agree that real estate, the prices are high now, but there are some companies out there that do programs in which people can invest in real estate gradually and not a lump sum, in which you can be buying instrumentally instead of buying at once. So that might be more accessible to everyone than the high net worth people you spoke about. Okay,
and the last one here, there's another question here. This person says, good evening, crew. Is investing in mutual funds a good one? And what's the difference between that and regular savings? This is Onyi from Ago in Okota asking the question. And I think that's much you can take if you answer this one now.
Okay, right. So investing in mutual funds would be a good investment, but just note that it comes with management fees. So provided the net of fees returns that the fund is giving you are fine with it, then you might be a better investment than regular savings, because regular savings might give you a lower rate of return. But just note that past performance is not a guarantee of future performance. That's just the clause I'll give on that.
All right. This writer here says, I'm sorry, Mr. Yusuf, but he said, look, this real estate something that she's not convinced that that's the answer. That's what this person is saying here, that this real estate. Well, so Luqman, before we go, actually, can I ask you this time? I think the first caller actually asked this question. I don't know. This time around, that the economy is very hard. People even find it difficult to feed and all of that. And somebody's talking to them about investment. How do people invest when they can hardly even put together 3 square meals in a day. And this is not peculiar to poor people. Even the rich people are telling you that things are very difficult.
I think for most people, one thing they will need to start with is investing in education. So if they first invest in education, it could transform them from someone that earns income daily to maybe somebody that earns income monthly, annually, and so on. So one thing they can start with is investing in education, and that might help with the situation in the long run. Because once you are well educated, you are empowered to do great things in life.
Well, you can still get in touch with us here. 0700-923-923-923, or you can send us messages on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193. And after the program, you can continue to keep in touch with us to ask your questions. I'm sure if you do that, CFA Society Nigeria will still be able to attend to that. You can go to the website www.cfasocietyng.org, or you can go to any of the social media handles on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, CFA Society NG, and drop your questions right there. And Luqman, just to call it a wrap this evening, just in 30 seconds,
Okay.
what would you like to say to young people who right now they're earning money, they may not have too much problems like those who have a family? What would you like to say to them in the face of the current economic challenges, how they can manage their money in terms of looking for somewhere to invest it for future returns? Just in 30 seconds.
Okay. So what I'll suggest is investing, if they are salary earners, for instance, I'll suggest is investing a certain percentage of your monthly income first before you even start spending anyone for your expenses. So invest a certain amount regularly, monthly. So if you do that regularly, that will assist you in the long run when the economy or when you need it, it will grow. But most people don't invest monthly. They spend all their money and they are often left with so little before they even invest.
All right. Thank you very much. Luqman Awari-Yusuf, CFA ACS, has been my guest on Money Talks. And we've been discussing here the basics of investing. I'm very sure that you have picked a thing or two from the program this evening. Join us again next time on the program. Whatever you do, be sure that you're making your finance a force for good. Thank you for listening. Smart Uzechi is my name.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Money Talks, hosted by the CFA Society Nigeria. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube at CFA Society Nigeria. Follow us for more financial insight and updates. Keep a date with us next time.